Greetings gamers everywhere, I'm Swift92 and I'm way late to this party, but let's talk about Jotunnslayer Hordes of Hel and the 1.0 update. Yeah, as I said, I'm late to this party. The update came out on September 3rd, I believe it was, and I'm talking about it now, about 2 weeks later. So yeah, let's get into it. The update came with the 1.0 update, I should say. It's a big number, big thing for an early access game. This came with a new character, the Valkyrie, and a new location called Helheim, and they also reworked a lot of the UI elements and added new abilities, of course, and a new god, Needhug. The Needhug is basically the serpent, or he's more of like a dragon. He's a dragon that gnaws on the world tree of Yggdrasil, basically, at the bottom. And it's a very... I didn't expect that one to become the new god, but I like him. I haven't tried him that much, but his passive abilities seems really nice. I haven't used any of his abilities. Oh, never mind. I've used one, which looked fine. There is nothing wrong with the animations of anything that I've tried, anything of the new things I've tried, or anything of the old things either. But Needhug, well, his passive abilities are more, shall we say, focused on life more focused on life and life regeneration and such that I expected when I first saw that he was coming. I do appreciate the things he can do, so nothing wrong with him. I'll try to use him a little bit more to get a feeling for what his abilities can really do. I haven't upgraded any of his skill tree really. I've done the passive stuff that applies to every character, but none of the... I haven't upgraded any of his own god abilities. I'll get right on that. Helheim at first was, I want to say, a disappointment, but it... I hadn't watched anything on Helheim. If they showcased the map beforehand, I'm not sure they did, but if they did, I had not watched any of that. So when I got into the map, I was confused, let's say. It's just an outer circle with an inner circle with a inner circle, or middle circle, outer circle, and inner circle. And I was like, okay, is this it? What I did like about it was that any time a enemy died, the XP would actually go to you directly. It wouldn't just fall where the enemy died. Because if you're a ranged character and you kill enemies outside of the ring, well, or in between, well, the XP would technically fall down the hole, and that would be, well, bad. Now, I have played Helheim on the 3 difficulties: the normal, hard, and insane. The Seers, or the Sorceress class, or whatever you want to call it, played the normal, and then I used the Hunter one. Now I can't remember what his name is. It's not something you expect, but the Hunter, the one with the bow. I used him for hard, and then the Berserker for insane. Now, there are a few key differences that we will get into for this map, depending on the difficulty. But first of all, of course, between the difficulties, you have different amounts of time you need to survive. Normal is 15, hard is 17, and insane is 20. Now, with that, there are a few key differences. Like, for example, there are more floors in insane. Yes, floors. Because I was surprised to see that once I had completed my first objective in on the first platform, I was like, okay, is this it? Okay, oh, let's go get on with it, see what happens. And then suddenly I was told to get deeper into Hel, basically. So I was standing in the middle, and then I took an elevator down to the next level. So it came a completely different room. I love that. That is a great idea. Now, I'm not sure how this works in Endless, because that was also one of the key things that came with 1.0, Endless mode for all the maps, which I'm definitely gonna get into and see if that actually gives you more gold, just because it's endless. Now, the next level was just a straight line where you have to open doors, and it always says easy when doing this one, no matter the difficulty you're playing at, so yeah, gotta get on with that. Just go through the doors and you get to the next level. And this third level is just a square room. Then you choose your, shall we say, objective, and you do your objective, and then you get to go down to the next level after completing it. Well, after getting the next objective, that is. Now, this square room is nothing special. You get a medium or a hard, or maybe easy thing to do, and then you choose which one to do, and then you just get to it. Moving on after this square room, you actually get to I was gonna say cross, but I mean like a X room. It's shaped like an X, or a plus sign, depending on what you want to call it. And this room is also very difficult if you don't have the amount of damage or survivability, because there will be enemies and you will get hit. It's kind of tight corridors. I have no problem with it, because you're really gonna need a top-leveled character and some really powered up god skills and such as well to get through this. Now, the objective here is always the same. You get to choose between killing the kings or some chieftains, I believe. I can't remember which one, but the kings are surprisingly squishy, I would say, because while playing this on normal, they died almost instantly from the seers. Playing on hard, yes, same thing there, almost died instantly. Now on insane, of course, they died a little bit a little bit slower, but they still died relatively easy. What's even more is that the kings don't do much. They do deal damage if they come close to you, and they have like one ability, I think they do. Maybe one or two abilities they use, which was surprising. I expected them to be a little bit harder. I also expected there to be a lot more of the elite enemies, you know, the ones with their own personal health bars you can see above their head. I expected to see a lot more of those enemies on Insane in Helheim, but there's hardly anyone. At least, especially not in these more tight paths, like for example the straight line. No such enemies there. This cross sign, well, except for the objective enemies, nope. And I believe the round circle at the beginning doesn't have any of those enemies either, except if you take the quest or the objective to kill a special type of enemy at the start. Let's see. Well, nothing more on this room except that killing the kings gives a lot of gold. 24 to be precise. And that's the most I think you get from any objective / quest in the game, which is kind of insane actually. But let's get on with it and go to the, what's this, the 5th room? I think so. The 5th room, is it? Anyway, it's also a square, and this room doesn't come into play until you play it on hard. Because if you're playing on normal, you get to the cross, and then after that there's the boss. Now, in this square, comes the most unique puzzle in the game, I would say. This is on the level of those, you know, those rooms that you have to stand on in the right order. Yeah, this one you have to align some mirrors so that the beam bounces around and hits the crystal in the middle. Now, this one on hard, there's only 4 mirrors and it's very easy. On insane, it was a little bit more difficult. I also did it completely wrong. So yeah, I had to redo a few things, rotate things a little bit more than I would have to. So that one was on me. And this is also one of the rooms where those more unique, or well, not unique, the elite enemies actually show up for once. And yeah, I don't get why they're not in the others. I'm guessing it's because they think the corridors and such are too tight, so those types of enemies would be too, let's say, powerful. Maybe that's why also the kings are not that powerful when it comes to at least health. Either that or it's just a balance thing that they haven't figured out yet. I mean, it's still pretty new, so yeah. Anyway, there's nothing much to say about this room except that I really like the puzzle. I was a bit skeptic to it when I first encountered it on hard. I was like, okay, this is fun, but how is this gonna work on insane? Because there's so much more enemies. But it worked quite well, surprisingly well actually. So I'm glad that my worry wasn't well, completely justified. It wasn't easy, I would say. I have a lot of healing on the Berserker here, so yeah, I kept surviving the ordeal. This next room, whew, this one was fun. It's basically survive the gauntlet. It says easy. I wouldn't call it easy. I got down to like 50 HP out of my 650 HP at one point, and because of I had chosen the health regeneration class or advanced class for the Berserker, well, I did survive. So yeah, health regeneration for the win. So that was good. Elite enemies with their own personal health bars will spawn in this one too, so yeah, be aware. Now you can stand in the middle, just stand in the middle of this one because there's no spike traps in the middle, so you can just stand in the middle and just avoid the bubbles. But I chose to move around mostly because, well, there's a lot of enemies shooting, I need to get close to kill those, otherwise there's just gonna be a big amount of just ranged enemies standing outside, shooting at me at the same time as the bubbles are shooting at me. And then when any rare enemies spawn with their big health bars, yeah, I'm gonna just pushed out anyway. But I managed to survive that, and after that there was the boss. And what can I say about Hel? I believe, or half-dead Jotun. Uh, I'm guessing it's not Hel because yeah, that I guess that wouldn't make sense. I guess. Half-dead Jotun is... I like it, but at the same time, I think they could have come up with something more unique. She basically takes the form of the other Jotuns you have killed. So the ones from the previous 3 maps. And I gotta say, it's not bad, but it's just... I expected more. Her mechanics in normal are just the one thing, I believe, or 2 things outside of those forms. Same with hard, maybe she adds one more ability to that arsenal, and same with insane, maybe there's one more thing added. I expected something more to her than just taking different forms like that, and then you have to kill those forms, and then she goes back to her ordinary form, and then you wait, damage her a little bit more, and then she takes another form, and you kill that, so on and so forth, until she's dead. Now, on playing on normal and killing her the first time, I did get a cutscene, which I'm not gonna showcase because that would be, well, spoiler, I think. I like that cutscene, I like it. I also like the voice acting from her because she's actually has a voice. And I can tell you one thing, this might be a Viking game. The language is definitely not Swedish. I believe it's Icelandic. I'm not an Icelandic speaker and I haven't heard much Icelandic, so I'm not sure. There are a few words and phrases that that is very similar to Swedish, but yeah, as Icelandic is much more related to the well, the language they spoke 1,000 years ago in Scandinavia. Yeah, I get why they have that language there. I actually don't know where the developers from. Where are the developers of Jotunnslayer based? I have no idea. Huh. Anyway, yeah, that's the Helheim level. Really nice. I'm gonna unlock some more of those modifiers and then I'm gonna go just all in, see if I can actually survive. And then I'm gonna see how much gold can you get. Now, I know this video is already very long, but let's talk about the new character. It's gonna be go quick, I think. Now, what makes her the most unique to me? Well, I would say it's the dodge distance, actually. For some reason, well, I wouldn't say for some reason, but she has this very long dodge. She basically dodges, I would say, double the distance of a normal character, at least, maybe 3 times as long as a normal character. I really like that. Worked very well when you want to dodge out of something or just dodge into something because you're in a hurry, you know? Always in a hurry. Her abilities are really nice. She does have this kind of a phantasm, this kind of spirit always following her, also attacking. She can conjure spears, or she has a glaive, I think she attacks with. It looks like I think they might call it a spear, but it doesn't look like a spear to me. It looks more like a glaive kind of spear. But it's really nice kind of type of attacks. I do like the animations, lovely animations. And she looks to be pretty balanced. I think I'm playing on hard here, if I remember correctly. And yeah, there's not much to say really. She has incredible attack animations and good damage. Keep in mind that she's also a bit developed here, as I did play the Helheim map with the Seers first, and after getting the gold there, I upgraded some of her abilities with that I thought, oh, this one looks interesting, I'm gonna upgrade that. I think, yeah, she's really powerful in that way. I don't think she's overpowered. She does have a lot of kind of movement and also health regeneration, I believe, that she can implement, because at the end I was regenerating health like crazy. I had a very small chance of my spirits kind of what's that? Uh, I had a low chance of getting them to start regenerating a percentage of my health, and this one activated a lot. So basically I got damaged and then almost immediately healed up again. It was really nice. I can't remember if I had any healing power activated except for that one, but yeah. I really like this one. I'm definitely gonna keep playing this one to just see what I can do with it. Can she complete Helheim on the insane with all the modifiers kind of thing? I'm definitely gonna upgrade her more before that, but yeah. I do like the new character. She fits well within the roster of characters as well, because she's a Valkyrie. I mean, who's more fitting in a kind of Viking kind of game than a Valkyrie, except for a real Viking and the gods, of course. But we also already have a Viking, the Berserker, so I'm really fine with this character. It's really nice. Now, I'm expecting some balancing updates coming. Even though it has been a while since the update came out, I'm expecting some changes, possibly. I don't know what they would change, but I'm sure there will be something that is too overpowered or too underpowered. Now, I haven't seen any. I don't believe there's anything the developer has come out to talk about what will come after the this update, this 1.0, but I'm expecting more to come. I at least hope there will be more to come. And because I really like Jotunnslayer, it's a great game. I believe there is a bit of a grind for the achievements though. There are in-game achievements and some of them are really, I would say, too grindy, almost to the point of stupid. But then again, I haven't gone in. I believe other players have also expressed their frustration with them, but so they might have been changed with the 1.0 update. I'm not sure. I haven't checked that actually. That would be. I would need to check on that because some were just collect this many items or this, and you need to do the same objective like 100 times to almost get to that. And that's too much for one map. Anyway, that's all I got for this 1.0 update for Jotunnslayer Hordes of Hel. What are your thoughts on the game? Put it down in the comments. This video is long enough already. I've been Swipin92. Have a great life. Hope to see you in future videos. Bye bye.